Good afternoon, friends. We're back with another YouTube video. As per usual, we got some Greek yogurt, blueberries, and almond butter because healthy. Something I wanted to talk about today, though, that I was like, you know what, let's get into it. It's usually things that I notice about myself and then want to talk about because I teach myself a lot of things along the way as I constantly question myself. And not in a bad way, just questioning, because questioning how you are and how you think is so important, because we don't realize that what we think and what we want to, like, I just totally dissociated. Wow, that's insane. We don't realize that most things that we think about and what we believe and what we action, like, they're not essentially locked in core concepts about ourselves. They're things that we just assume. So to be questioning yourself a lot is how you could develop more self-awareness. It's actually very fundamental if you want to go through some personal growth. So yeah, question yourself a lot, especially if you feel like your shit's hitting the fan. Start questioning your beliefs, your mindset, the way you decide to be about life. These things are not foundational. So that's why it's important to question yourself. Settling for less to please others will make you energetically weak. And the reason why I need to talk about this is because, first of all, us humans, we are pretty limitless in our choices and what we desire in this lifetime. We could be anything we want. But obviously the whole point of life is that there's obstacles. So we have to be able to overcome the obstacles, how we react to the obstacles, how we deal with the obstacles, just how we are in our circumstances. Like, that's the principles of life. It's getting where you want to be and knowing how to overcome the obstacles that you are faced with. Because without the obstacles, it kind of makes the whole point pointless. Do people have less obstacles in their way? Yes. That's just the game of life, right? It's kind of unpredictable, and that's just the way the game was constructed, essentially. But like they say, you can choose how you react to your life circumstances. And I think we've been conditioned a lot to think that there are things that we have to sacrifice or compromise in order to be not comfortable, but almost like in a safe environment. So a lot of people will sacrifice certain dreams or goals for themselves in order to do other things that are most likely for other people. And so basically kind of ditching what they want for another human being. Which, don't get me wrong, in some circumstances makes sense because we can be selfish assholes. You know, we have to be able to bend. But I think to settle immediately, to just make things more smooth, because it's like, it seems smoother in your head than to actually go through like the whole headache of like fighting for what you want, is easier, right? So that's what most people choose. But you kind of have to start to realize that if you're not content with your life, it's because of you. And you deciding not to confront certain situations or people in order to get what you want in a good way, not like in a bad way. Like, if you have a dream, don't settle for a yes for that if you know that if you go in that path, it won't bring you your dream. Like, that's just common sense. But like, we will say yes just because we know it's like the easiest way to get through it. So like I was saying, we have limitless skills within ourselves and things that if we have a true desire to do something, like, we can do it. This is the reason why you could even imagine it, is because it's truly possible. With that being said, now it's just a matter of how you're going to get there, okay? And that's the whole point of the game. You know, the whole point of the game is the journey, okay? Because imagine getting somewhere and then remaining the exact same person. I feel like that's kind of useless. Like, okay, you got there, but like, I feel like the fulfillment of getting what you want in a split second is not as gratifying as knowing what you went through and the person that you became in order to get what you want. And sometimes that is going to come with a lot of negativity in a way, and a lot of drama, if I can say, and a lot of conflicting situations where you're going to have to almost, get rid of certain situations or people in your life in order to get what you want. And that's why a lot of people don't have what they want, is because you have to go through that fucking dirty ass road. And it's freaking messy. And some people, well, actually a lot of people might not even like you at the end. But do those people truly matter at the end when you truly get what you want? Not really. Not really. Because you probably found new people along the way anyways. So those people from the past are from the past, right? And this also comes down to how you're feeling inside in order to be able to make these decisions. Because obviously, if you have no self-respect, no boundaries, you're like a very big people pleaser in general, obviously you will not be able to do these things. And yeah, you're going to settle for less because you literally have like this innate fear that people will abandon you or you won't be validated. So you will just be like, okay, screw it, let me just go on that side. And that is actually an issue because if you know who you are and you are very sturdy on knowing what you want, the opinions of others and the comments of others shouldn't freaking fade you. They shouldn't affect you, essentially. And yes, a lot of people will dislike you. And I think that if a lot of people dislike you, it's because if you're being ethical, obviously, I'm not saying if you're being a criminal, but if you're being an ethical person, okay, and you're truly just doing what you want to do and people dislike you for that, it's because you trigger them. You trigger something within themselves because they're not able to do that, to take that leap, to jump higher. So are you really losing people that are truly good for you, that are truly supporting you? Not really. Not really. Their mindset is just lower. That's what it is. And that comes with their downsides. Unfortunately, your environment impacts you more than you know. It's extremely sensitive as a human being to be in an environment because everything that is your environment, from what you see, from what you hear, from what you, basically the energy that you exchange with people is extremely sensitive. So if you're constantly surrounded by someone that has very limiting self-beliefs, you will have limiting self-beliefs. You will settle for less. So if you are surrounded by people that you grew up with that settled for less, you most probably, if you don't open your mind, will settle for less. And that's where the pattern never breaks and the cycle repeats itself from generations to generations. So do you want to be that generational breaker and finally do something for yourself where you just go the other path? You don't take the same path these people were taking. And that's where everything changes, essentially. So if you feel any type of resistance in your life where you have doubts or fears, that is something nudging at you. You can't ignore that nudge. It will come and go, but it will never leave, okay? It will never leave until you actually face it. And the older you get, I truly think that that voice probably does get louder because it's saying, okay, like, like you're kind of running out of time now, you're getting older, you're not doing what you truly wanted to do, like, that is. And then one day you're on your deathbed and you're like, fuck, I actually let fear and doubt control me and I didn't do what I wanted to do because of that. So this is where your emotional strength needs to be practiced. If you do things differently, you will not get external validation from people, okay? Most people will validate what you're doing because you're either doing something very similar to them or lower. If people see that you're doing something higher, like let's say something that they truly wish they would be able to do, they will not support you because they are resentful. Every time you people please, you are kind of betraying yourself in a way. And when you betray yourself, you are losing trust within yourself, you're losing respect, and you are basically losing the most important relationship, and that's with yourself. For other people. That honestly, these people, you're not dying with them and they could give less of a shit about you when shit hits the fan, right? What I mean by that is you are with yourself for most of your life. It doesn't matter how close you are with your family, with your friends. At the end of the day, you are with yourself and you die with yourself. So are you really going to, like, disrespect yourself, knowing truly what you want, but saying no for the contentment of other people? Are you going to do that and sacrifice for the rest of your life? That sucks, okay? That fucking sucks. That really, really sucks. Because the more you lose respect for yourself, the more you will feel unhappy. You will do things without intention because you just don't have, like you can't even follow your own fucking word. So imagine not being able to follow through what you say you want to do. So you're living your life out of no intention, just existing. And like everything almost feels pointless. And that's why when people say like life feels meaningless, it's because they don't follow their life with intention. They have no relationship, no connection with themselves. And that's where shit gets dark. Because it's like you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know what's going on. You're doing things for other people. Yeah, you lost yourself. You don't know what the fuck is going on because you're doing things for people. These people are not you. If you followed your heart, you'd feel so much better, you know? And that's why a lot of people get depressed and a lot of people get in certain situations where they're just so miserable. It's because they are not following their heart. They're not doing what's truly what's truly good for them because they're lost in the illusion of life. And like, don't get me wrong, like we've been conditioned to get lost almost because we've been fed so many illusions in this world where we think things are like right for us, but we're not happy in the end. And then you wonder why. It's because you're not following your heart, your soul. It's just, there's no connection. And that's where authenticity comes into play, because that's another thing that people will do, is that they will kind of hide their true self, their true personality, to feel like, once again, like validation. And when you reject your authentic self, you're basically setting yourself up for failure and being completely unaligned with your path. If you're not aligned with your path, with your happiness, with your authenticity, there will always be a void in you that will be feeling like, hey, I'm doing all these things, I'm making money, I have a family, I have this, I have that, but I still feel this sensation in my gut. Something's telling me I need to be doing something else, or I need to be doing more. And that is exactly why you feel it, is because you're not authentically being yourself. Think about this. If you are not truly authentically yourself around people and with what you do, like if you don't do what you truly want to be doing and you're just doing things for people, imagine how your identity is. You have no foundational true identity. It is literally so unstable. It's almost like Legos, because it's not you. That thing can fucking break in a matter of seconds because you're putting a mask on, essentially. Everything is it's masked. And being masked is not sustainable because it's fake. Just like a lot of things in this world, a lot of things are fake, yet that's why they're not sustainable. Most of the things that are happening in this world are unsustainable because it's not the real way that we should be living, how we should be going about life. It is all illusioned. It is all it's fucking plastic. It's artificial. And we do that with our identity. We are superficial. We avoid confrontation. We avoid feelings because we just want to be able to swim through life without going through our shadows. When I was living for other people, you know, and that would be more when I was a kid, because I think when we're kids, we do that a lot. We live for our parents. We live for our friends. We do things a lot just to feel, you know, like we are a part of something. And that's totally normal because all humans want to feel like we're a part of some type of community and whatnot. But it doesn't mean you have to be in that specific community. You know, you can be in one that you can be yourself without needing to be validated and still be included. That is very much possible. But I'm gonna be honest, in this day and age where everyone is trying to fit in, we've lost the point, and it's so hard to find a tribe where you can all be authentically yourself because everyone's trying to fit in. So imagine everyone's being fake. So it's like, how do you build a community of authenticity when everyone's trying to not be themselves to get it? It's very contradicting. It's very contradicting, but it's just the way it is. Just know every time you're settling for the comfortableness of your environment and other people, and making sure that things are not getting confrontational or not getting disrupted in some type of way, and constantly trying to avoid conflict in any sort, even though you know that if you would stand up and say something for yourself, that would be the access to your self-respect and your desires. You just turn a blind eye and you settle for whatever it is that is in front of you, and you say yes. Just know that you are completely abandoning yourself. That you're giving your energy away for people to not feel discomfort. And how foolish is that? How foolish is that? It's so foolish. And don't get me wrong, I've been through this, okay? The only reason I'm speaking about this is because I've done it, okay? And till this day, it will still come back in my head because I think these are things that we kind of create at a very young age because that's how we were just conditioned. But waking up to it and putting your foot down one day in your life is where, you know, you kind of come to that realization. You're like, you know what? No. You can dislike me. You can think I'm the odd one out or weird or selfish or self-centered. Think all you want. But I would like to know, are you truly happy with your life? Say, do we want our future children to be like us, where we settled for less? We dealt with people that we were able to tolerate, essentially. That they were good enough, you know? Nothing crazy, but good enough for me to be able to sit comfortably in my house and be like, I'm okay. Not, I'm fulfilled, I'm accomplished. I went through the depths of my shadows to be able to get what I want. I didn't confront anyone. I made everyone around me happy and smooth. And now I'm just existing. And I'm here. And this is my life. If that's what you want, go ahead. You know, that's okay. You are not in a situation where you are doubting yourself and questioning your actions, knowing that those actions are intentional towards your goal, then you are not on the right path. Because I truly think that if you want to be successful, people have to dislike you. You have to be constantly doubting yourself. And I've said this in my previous video, and I honestly, it's something that I feel like I need to constantly even say to myself to just keep it in my brain, because it's hard. It's hard, especially when the path is lonely. It is hard. But it's literally the only way that will get you somewhere in life. Unless you've been gifted with the life that you desired and it just appeared in your face, most people, 99% of people, have to do exactly what I'm talking about in order to get what they want in their life. And that's what builds the character of an abundant human being. The abundant human being saw the abundance in the dark. The abundant human being saw their success within all the people that were talking down on them, feeling uncomfortable about them, leaving them, abandoning them, whatever the case is. But when you don't seek validation from any of that and you still see your abundance, that's where your power lays. That's where it is. And that's how you will get to what you want, is because it's what you feel internally. That fire inside of your gut, that fire inside of your chest, that it's like, it's there. That I know I'm gonna have it. I know I'm gonna get it. And basically fuck everyone around me. Fuck it, like just whatever. Because especially that if these people around you aren't even at the place that you want to be, why would you listen to them? It's like a lion listening to a mouse. Why is the lion listening to the mouse? The mouse is gonna get crushed in seconds. You're lowering yourself for people that have a very lacked mindset, that have a very self-limiting belief mindset. No. Turn your head, say, you know what? You go there, I'm gonna go there, and that's it. You can hate me. I don't hate you. I just don't really want to be surrounded by your energy, and that's all it is. Like I said, like, this is like all the things that I preach about, like, I know aren't something that you can wake up one day and you just do. And that's why it starts with like your internal self-beliefs. Well, how you decide, the choices you make, how you do them, how does it happen, and what led you to that decision. Because all of those little things, those nudges, those thoughts in your head is exactly what creates your reality that is right now. All the decisions, all the self-beliefs, the environment, everything is perfectly orchestrated to be in the situation you are right now. So if you dislike your situation right now, then you should be disliking your brain. You should be disliking the way you think. Hey, I don't want to be thinking like this anymore because I don't want to be in the situation that I'm in right now. So, and like I said, like, I'm not being ignorant because I know that people have it harder than other people. That is completely true. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own life. Okay? And the universe is not against you. The universe is doing anything to work with you. Okay? So if something hits the fan and that makes you crack in 2 seconds, you have to fix your mindset because if you think immediately that the universe is against you, the second that something doesn't happen in your favor, then you have a very weak mindset. That's your mindset is weak. That's why. So the universe, if the universe sees that you have a weak mindset, it is going to do everything in its favor for you to experience that weak mindset because you are literally in the weak mindset. So how can you experience something else if that's what you truly believe in your brain? Oh, but it's not true. I don't truly believe that way. No, but you do. It's a whole internal feeling and belief that is connected within your body that you think that the universe is against you or like the world is against you. Like that is something that you truly believe. Now, if you're able to believe something like that, like you truly trust that belief system, that the world is like working against you, why don't you just change it? Why don't you throw that fucking belief out and tell yourself the universe actually is conspiring to help me and that when shit hits the fan, that the universe is just redirecting me and showing me something and knows that I deserve better than that. Nothing is against you. Everything is doing everything in your favor. It's like giving a dog, like I think we've all heard this metaphor where we say like, if you point something at a dog, it could be chocolate, the dog still fucking wants it. Are you gonna give the dog the chocolate? No, because it will kill the fucking dog. But the dog doesn't know its head from its ass. It wants the chocolate. The universe won't give you what you want all the fucking time because sometimes it can kill you. Or it can just make your life worse and you don't know. But the universe knows. Knows better. Just imagine that the negative way of you thinking is not any more true than the positive way of thinking. So if you decide to just go on the other side because there's literally nothing to lose because both of them are just assumptions, then you're setting yourself up for success to go more on the positive way of thinking. Because like I said, neither of them are as more true than the other. They're literally on the same level. So if they're both on the same level, why would you go towards the negative one and be like, this is the one I'm gonna truly believe? Bro. Like, the positive one is right there. Like, come on. Let's go. You're better than that. I know you're better than that. Anyways, I'm done for my yap session. I'm going to leave my house before I get overstimulated. So, I get overstimulated being in my house. Yeah, that's a bit ironic. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I started my online coaching business. If you want to start with me, the link will be in my bio. And I had a great time yapping with you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.